I am so glad you joined me. Hello. Welcome back, everyone. My name is Joyce McTeer, and I am the owner and operator of LaJoyto Creation Designs, part owner of MJOriginalBoutique.com. I want to say thank y'all for joining me for another Crafty Vision segment. I am coming to you all today to show you all how to create, I'm going to say a ethnic, Afrocentric dangle bracelet, but I'm going to be using copper wire, okay? Now, for those of you who have been following me and watching my videos, could y'all please make sure that you thumbs this video and other videos up, and please do not fast forward through the video. My reason for saying that is because I get comments all the time asking me about the sizes of my beads, my wires. I get it a lot, y'all. So please be respectful and do not fast forward through the video. Anything that you need concerning what I am making for you all is going to be in the very beginning of the video, okay? So, with that being said, now let's go ahead and get started. So I'm going to be using 2 dowels. And if for those of you who've been following me, y'all know that I purchased these dowels from Dollar General. They have these, okay, 2 different sizes. And then I'm going to be using some copper wire. So I'm going to be using 3 pieces of copper wire, 7 inches long. Okay, 2 pieces of the copper wire is 20 gauge copper wire, and 1 piece of the copper wire is 14 gauge copper wire. You are also going to need some jump rings, and I created these jump rings using my 14 gauge copper wire. I also made myself a toggle for my, once I put everything on, I'm going to be using this. This is going to be my closure. All right. And for those of you who've been following me, y'all know that I recently did a video showing you all how to make and create this right here. And these are, I call these my charms. Okay. But we're going to make 2 more charms, and I will leave the link on how to create this charm down in the description box. Everything is going to be down in my description box. You are also going to need some 8mm wood beads. These I purchased from Amazon.com. The seed beads you can find at Michael's, Joannes Fabrics, or Hobby Lobby, okay? The seed. So you are also going to need 3 cowrie shells and a 12mm oval wood bead for this here project. Your cutters, your round nose pliers, and now we're going to go ahead and start assembling our bracelet. Now I'm using copper wire because this bracelet that I'm showing y'all how to make, if you make this bracelet and you sell these bracelets, somebody can have this for a very, very, very long time, okay? Very long time. So at first I was thinking about putting it on stretch cord, because you can use stretch cord. I want to put that out there. For this design, you can use stretch cord, okay? Putting it out there. You don't have to use copper wire if you choose not to, all right? So the very first thing that I am going to do is I have already cut my copper wire, and it is 7 inches long. I am going to take my dowel, and I'm going to make a loop on my copper wire, just like this, okay? You're going to take it all the way over. All right, and when you take it off, this is what you're going to have. Now what you're going to do next is you're going to take your round nose pliers and you're going to pinch this down just like that, okay? So this is 14 gauge copper wire. Then you're going to take your wire cutters and you're just going to come and snip this just like that. And you're going to have a perfect circle. All right, just like that. All right. Now, what I'm going to do next, I got that ready. I'm going to go ahead and make 2 more of my charms or toggles. So I'm going to take 1 piece of my 7 inches of my copper wire. I'm going to take my cowrie shell, take it through my shell. I'm hoping y'all can, actually, let me see. I'm hoping y'all can see what I'm doing. Let me push it back a little bit. Okay. Now what I'm going to do next is I'm going to take it through. I'm going to push both pieces up, just like this. All right. Push it up. Make sure that the wire goes down in the crease. Make sure that wire goes in the crease. Go down inside the crease, okay? So you got your front piece and your back piece. You're going to take your back piece and start wrapping it around your front piece, okay? And this is what you're going to do. You can use your pliers to do this, but I prefer to use my hands. For those of you who've been following me, y'all know that I use my hands pretty much a lot, okay? So you're just going to wrap it. Now, as you're getting down to the very little bit, now I'm using my pliers because I want to make sure that it's nice and secure, okay? And this is pretty much what you're going to have. And I'm going to take and snip this off right there. All right. Okay, and this is what you're going to have. Then I'm going to pinch this over and I'm going to make a loop. And then just wrap it around. But I'm only going to wrap it 1 time. Just like this. Come to the front. And I'm going to snip that off. Just like that. Okay. And I'm going to take it and turn it to the side. So you're going to turn your piece to the side. It's not, you don't want it facing you. You want to turn to the side. And that's going to be it for that. Now I'm going to add on another charm. So I'm going to take and do the same thing. I'm going to take my wire. Okay. Push it through. Come up here to the top. Go from the back to the front. Press this down. And I'm going to start wrapping it around. Just like I did the first piece. And you want to come all the way down, holding it as tight as you can as you're wrapping, so that it's not moving. Just like this. Okay. All right, and I'm going to come right there and snip this off. Okay, so this is what you're going to have. Then I'm going to take and squeeze this. So now I'm going to go ahead and add on my other beads. I'm going to add on a brown bead. Okay, and then I'm going to add on one of my wooden beads. All right, and then I'm going to come up to the top and pinch it over and make another loop right here. All right, When you make your loop, then all you do next is just wrap this around. You can wrap it as many times as you see fit, as it is comfortable for you, okay? Snip it right there. And I'm gonna take this one and turn it to the side as well. So that's 2. So we got our first 2 down. These I have already created, okay? I'm gonna leave a link to this because I don't want this video to be too long, okay? So I'm gonna leave a link on how to do this one down in the description box. So now we have one more cowrie shell to do, and I'm going to go off and do that, and I will be right back. Okay, so now since we have everything we need, like I said, you're going to need 4 of these. You're going to need 2 cowrie shells and your other dangle charm. We're going to go ahead and assemble it onto our 14 gauge copper wire. Now, I have already made my loop for those of you. Okay, that's my loop, and I'm going to go ahead and now with these beads, these are 8mm wood beads. They may be a little, you may have a kind of a hard time getting them on, so you might want to take and use something to make your, they have a bead, what is it, it's a tool that you can buy to purchase to make your beads, your hole in your beads a little bigger, okay? Or you can use your round nose pliers and just take it, be gentle with it, stick it in and just like, you know, move it around a little bit on both sides, okay? So I put on my first one, my first bead. Now I'm gonna go ahead and add on one of my charms. And then the next thing I'm going to do is I'm going to add 2 of my wood beads on. So I'm only going to put 2 on. Okay. Slide it down. And then I'm going to add on another one. And see, with mine, I always twist it because this is 14 gauge wire, so it is pretty thick. Okay, now I'm going to add on one of my cowrie shells, and then I'm going to do 2 more of my wood pieces, my wood beads. So that's 1, bring that down, and I'm going to add on another one, slide that down, and then I'm going to add on another one of my charms. Just make sure that when you are putting these on, that is turned to the side. Okay, slide it on like that, and then you're going to add on 2 more of your wood beads. Okay, you're going to have to play with it for a little bit. Pull it down. Okay, bring that down like that, and then another one. And the reason why I'm adding in an extra wood piece is so that it'll give my give my charms some space in between, so they won't be pretty much on top of each other. And when you wear this, it will drop and hang down the way you want it to. Okay, so now I'm going to add on my cowrie shell, my last cowrie shell, and then I'm going to come and hit it with 2 more of these. One here. And actually, I'm going to add on 1 more. Okay, bring that down like that. And then I'm going to add on my very last charm. Slide that on. And then all I'm going to do is add on 1 more bead at the end. Okay, and this is pretty much what you are going to have. Now let me count this and make sure I have 14 beads. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10, 11, 12, 13, 14. Yep. And now what I'm going to do is I'm going to just come down to the bottom, and I want to make a loop down at the bottom, but make sure that it's pretty much facing the same way. Okay, so you just want to come down here. And what I'm going to do next is I'm going to pinch this over like that. I'm going to take my pliers and come here and make my loop, just like that. Okay, and that's what you're going to have. Okay, so this is the end of our bracelet. That's what we have. Now what I'm going to do next is I'm going to mold it like this. Okay. All right. That's pretty much what you're going to have once you mold it. And then you want to start adding on your jump rings. So I'm going to come over to this side and I'm going to add on my jump rings. So I'm going to put one here. And the thing that I love about this bracelet is that anybody can buy this, and when you adding on your jump rings, it's going to allow people to make it as tight or as loose as they see fit. Some people may really want it to be really comfortable on their wrists. It just depends on the individual. Some people like their bracelets tight. But what I'm doing now is I'm adding on my jump rings, my copper wire jump rings. All right. And now I'm going to come over here and I'm going to add this on. This is going to be my, this is my toggle, my clasp. I'm just going to add this on here. And then I'm going to add this on. Okay. So that's going to be on this side. So when you do decide to make these, make sure you let people know that it's adjustable and that it will fit their wrists, okay? Because sometimes people won't purchase if it's not exactly their size because they're not really sure. But if you make it and you put your chain on it, you know, you put your jump rings on it, they will, once they see what it looks like, they will purchase it, okay? Because they know that they can adjust it, they can move it around, they can make it as long or as short as they see fit. It just, like I said, it just depends on the individual and what they are looking for. So you just add all of these on. And like I said, you can add as many of these as possible. So let's see what we have. So the way that you wear this bracelet, because this is our bracelet. Okay, you're gonna wear this bracelet like this. It's going to hang down. You got everything back here, okay? And all you do is you take your clasp, and you can hook this by yourself, and you don't have to get anybody or have anybody help you hook this. And then you just take your clasp and you hook it like that. It's real simple, and that's how it's going. This is how you're going to wear it. If you want to mold it to your hand, you can. But this is your end results. Look at this. Gorgeous. Okay. Now, once again, if you want to make this bracelet and you want to use a stretch cord, you can use stretch cord. It's completely up to you. But I decided to use the copper wire. Okay. And this is your end result. This is what you're going to have. All right. Now, before I leave, I'm going to show y'all how I created this right here, this clasp, okay? Now, what I'm going to do is I'm going to take this is just a bonus, okay? I'm going to take some 14 gauge wire. It doesn't have to be anything super long or anything like that. And I'm going to cut, let me just measure this out. I'm going to cut, let's say, I'm going to cut about 3 inches, okay? 3 inches. And then what I'm going to do next is I'm going to take my dowel and I'm going to make a loop right here. All right, I'm going to make a loop. I'm going to wrap the loop. Try to make sure that you wrap it all the way around. Okay. So this is what you're going to have. That's your loop. All right. So that's your loop. So now what you want to do is you're going to come here and you're going to pinch this up like that. All right. And you're going to snip off that extra piece. Just like that. And you're going to, and this is pretty much what you're going to have. So this is the start of your toggle. This is your end piece. Now what you can do next is, what you want to do next is you want to, it doesn't really matter which way you flip it. You're going to take your, whatever you're using, but I'm using my dowel, and you're just going to come here and you're going to pinch this over to make your hook. Okay. Slide it off. This is what it's going to be looking like. And then you're going to come here and snip off some of this extra because it is extra. Snip that off. And then you want to take your pliers and just pinch that up like that. Okay. Now I'm going to take and pinch this just like that. And this is your clasp. Okay, this is your hook. You can pinch it over a little bit more. But one thing about this, this is what you're going to have once you make it. I want y'all to see what it looks like. You can make this in different sizes. You can make it small, you can make it, but I'm using 14 gauge, okay? Once you hook it, see how it's hooked? Once you hook it in here, it won't, this is not gonna come off, okay? Look. It's not gonna come off because the way that it's created is it goes down inside that groove. The groove that I got here, it goes down. Once it goes down in there, the only way this is going to come off is if you take it off. And the nose is long, okay? So that's why you make the nose kind of long so that once it go down inside the groove, it'll stay in place. Also, you may want to take some sandpaper and sand your nose down so that it doesn't stick anybody, because right now it's sticky. But if you take some sandpaper and you sand it down, or a block, you can use a block, whatever you have. You can use a file. Once you sand that down, that's going to get smooth right there, and it's not going to hurt anybody, okay? Whenever you are making and creating stuff, y'all got to make sure that it's operational, that it will last for a while, and that when you put it together, it won't come apart. Also, no one can get hurt from using this. It won't stick them or hurt them or anything like that, all right? So this is our finished look. Go make yourself plenty, plenty, plenty. And like I said, for those of you who want to know how to make this, I did this in a previous video. I will leave this in a link down in a previous video. So with that being said, I want to take this time to say thank y'all so very much for joining me. And until my next upload, my beloved kings and queens, peace and blessings, everyone. See ya.